sticky. Is my mic even on? So what happened again, got too many irons in the fire, or forks on the plate. Wait, is that even a thing? Maybe it's too much on the plate. I think that's it. Anyways, welcome back to the channel. So a couple months ago, I started this project, and I think today, I'm finally gonna finish it. There it is. And that's installing this portable surge protector, hopefully on board, and inside that electrical bay right there. So this is the Hughes Watchdog 50 amp surge protector. This is the Watchdog 1. They also have the Watchdog 2, which is basically the same. I think it's got a little bit different design and Wi-Fi. So a few key things about this is it won't close unless the voltage is in the right range. I think it's in between 104 volts and 132 volts. And you have a good ground, good neutral, and basically all conditions are safe. So another cool thing, they have a replaceable surge module in them. So if you ever have a big surge or a spike, you just replace that module instead of replacing the whole Watchdog. And I think those things are like 40 or 50 bucks. So if you end up getting a fault, it'll display the code right here. And on the side, there's all the error codes. So this is the portable version. They also make a hardwired model, and either one would work for me, but I chose this portable version for a reason. I'll show you here in a second. So this coach is a 2004 Monaco Windsor 38-foot diesel pusher. And these rigs have a lot of expensive electronics on them. So you want a surge protector or some type of protection, especially if you're plugged in at an RV park. Could save you from a very expensive repair bill. So quick little story. I knew this guy who was staying at an RV park one summer, and he ended up burning up his inverter and one of his AC units before he figured out what was going on. And he was just plugged straight into the pedestal. So it turns out the RV park had a low voltage issue because it was Arizona, middle of the summer, and everybody's running their air conditioners at full blast. So it's stories like that made me buy that Watchdog. So anyways, here in the shop I got this 50 amp Recep that I can plug the coach into. And then right up there, it's a disconnect switch for it. Okay, so pretend for a minute that this is the pedestal at the RV park. So with this portable model, just plug it in like that. Plug in the cord from the RV, turn the breaker on, or in this case, a switch. Then you'd probably want to lock it up with this cable ring thing here, because to a thief, that bright light and everything just screams, steal me. Now this setup is fine, but I'm gonna do something a little bit different. So it's permanently mounted on the motorhome in that bay right there. And I don't have to worry about thieves or being out in the weather or anything like that. So I'm gonna unplug all this real quick, show you what I'm gonna try and do. Yeah, it's tight. So I just removed the hose reel because that's going to be the next project, but hopefully I could show you guys this a little bit better. Okay, so I started this project a couple months ago, and I think I got the hard part done. So I got the finger out to help show you guys this a little bit better, but this cable right here with the red tape on it, it goes through the cord reel, comes out on top, comes into this box right here. You can see the red tape up there. And then this cable, the white tape on it, it goes back over here and over to the transfer switch. So originally this coach had a 6x6 splice box right here, and that cable up there with the red tape on it, and this cable here with the white tape on it, they were spliced together in there, and they were just spliced together with some wire nuts. And I found a couple of them loose and just didn't trust it, so got rid of it. So I removed that 6x6 box, and I put this male cord cap on the cable going to the transfer switch. And then I mounted a box with a female 50 amp receptacle in it and tied in the cable coming from the cord reel into that. So essentially with that cord plugged into that box right there, that takes place of that old 6x6 splice point. So to help see it a little bit better, I drew a cartoon here on the whiteboard. So here's the old way from the factory, 6x6 over to the transfer switch. This is how it is now. There's that receptacle I put in, cord cap, over to the transfer switch. So here's my plan. I'm gonna mount this Watchdog. Hopefully I left myself enough room. But mount it on the wall right here like that, so that plugs in on top. The other cord will plug in the bottom. It'll sit just like that. And then here's a little cartoon sketch of what it'll look like when it's done with the Watchdog installed. So now, I just need to come up with a way to mount this to the wall. And I think they make a bracket kit that mounts to these holes right here. I think those are a 1032. So I got this little 1032 screw here, countersunk. Yep, 1032. I'm just gonna use this scrap piece of aluminum right here, make my own brackets. All right, so here's the finished product. Turned out pretty good. So one of the reasons I went with the portable version is if I ever have a problem with it or anything, I can just unplug it and bypass it. Or if I want to upgrade to that Watchdog 2, it's all just plug and play. Makes it real easy. So if you guys are thinking about doing something like this, it may or may not be laid out like mine was. So really all you need to do is go to your main cord right here, find where it comes out of the top and trace it back. Find a good place to cut in a box like I did, and then put a cord cap on the cord going into it. And I'll put links in the description to all the stuff I used here. Okay, so let's energize it and see if it works. So you saw the light come on first, then after a couple seconds you heard that click. So that's it closing after it knows everything's good. So it looks like we're all good. So I want to show you guys the app real quick. So it shows we're on right there. We got good voltage on both legs. It's pulling like 2.8 amps, probably charging the batteries, and 150 watts. So if you're ever staying at an RV park and they charge you by the kilowatt hour, you can keep track of it right there. You just push that button and reset it. So this is with no load on it. So I'm gonna go turn on an AC unit and we'll see what it looks like. So I ended up turning on both AC units, the TV and some lights. You can see on line 1, almost 14 amps, 15 on line 2. Voltage is still good on both of them. So it's really sucking some juice. Okay, so one last thing I want to do is actually test it. So I'm going to disconnect the neutral and see if it actually recognizes that. So I've been an electrician for about 30 years, but I still blow stuff up every once in a while. So if you guys are going to do any work on your coach that involves the electrical system, make sure you're completely isolated from any power sources, even solar. Make sure the disconnects are open. I still have the main breaker on, but my main disconnect is open right there. And I know it's open because I can see the blades are folded out. So I'm going to disconnect that neutral. This is just for demonstration purposes. Normally you wouldn't play around like this, but I like to test stuff. Okay, the neutral's disconnected. I'm going to plug the coach back in. Make sure nothing's shorting out. Now I'm going to energize it, and we'll see what it looks like. So as you can see, the light didn't even come on or it didn't even close, but there's that little red light on right there. And it does say in real small letters underneath that, will turn red when park power neutral is missing. And it won't close. So here on the app, you could see it's disconnected. Everything's all zeros. I thought it might say something like open neutral or give some type of fault on the app, but I guess not. It just won't close at all. So I'm gonna reconnect that neutral, and then we'll do one more test. Okay, for this next test, I'm gonna disconnect the hot leg in the switch. So my switch is open. You can see my blades are out. I'm gonna disconnect this hot leg right here. Okay, I got one hot leg disconnected. Let's energize it. So you saw it lit up white there for a second and then went red. So it won't close because it knows there's a hot leg missing. And it's given an error code of an E2. And it looks like an E2 code is a line 2 voltage error. So here in the app, it looks like a message popped up. It's just saying it's not gonna close until it knows everything's good. And it's given that E2 code down there. So it is watching over the coach. That's good. Okay, so I think this project's finally complete. And I think it's gonna work out pretty good having it mounted inside there. It's just one less thing to worry about. So I think I'm gonna reconnect that hot leg, get everything picked up, and maybe go crack open a Michelob. So hey guys, thanks a lot for watching. Hopefully you guys found this helpful. And hit that subscribe button down there if you want. And we'll see you on the next one.